how to change the pose of 3D model in the bracket character in Unreal Engine 5. The edit pose option is not available. Because of it, I am not able to retarget animation properly. So the edit pose options, so we all know about the shortcut keys from which you can access the transforms, the rotations. You press W to actually use the transform, you press E to rotation, you press R to rotation as well, and then there's scaling as well. So all these shortcuts are, you can use QWER, right? So if you are not able to change the pose of the 3D model, what you can do is create an scene object, and you can put the 3D model as a child of that scene object. And following up with your question, I'm not able to retarget animation properly. So what are the possibilities that you are not able to retarget animation properly is because your bone setup or the hierarchy of the bones is not set up properly. That can be one of the reasons why you are not able to retarget animation properly. So it's a simple process. If there is one skeleton, and this is the another skeleton, if one bone of the other skeleton is not present or it is renamed incorrectly, then it won't be able to match, right? It won't be able to match. But if you have copied all the bones or the names of the bones, the hierarchy of the bones to the other skeleton which is the same, and then if you try to match it, if it matches correctly, you will be able to retarget it properly. All right, so for the pose, so as I said, so over here you can actually use these buttons. So what happens is when you are using animation mode, right? Currently I'm in the select mode. If you actually select the animation mode, sometimes these anchors right over here, they don't work actually. So if I select any object over here, right, if you are in the animation mode, there is a glitch in Unreal 5 that you won't be able to see the anchor. So if you cannot see the anchor, then you cannot actually change the pose of any object. So I guess that was your question. So you can just always click over here, right? So if you are in animation mode, I mean this one I'm talking about, the animation mode, this one. So sometimes the pivot, or I can add a simple shape over here, cube shape. All right. So sometimes this pivot doesn't show up, and even in laptops, right, sometimes the mouse doesn't show up in the viewport, right? Like currently you can see the mouse over here, but when I'm shifting over here, the mouse has disappeared in the viewport. So for that, there's also a quick fix. Just minimize it and use it like this. So these are the few bugs currently in Unreal 5.0.3. Most of them are solved in 5.1 and 5.2 as well. All right, so these anchors, so for Q there is normal select mode, W there is the transform mode, E there is rotate mode, R there is scale mode. So I guess you are not able to change your pose because you are in the animation mode. Sometimes that happens as a glitch. So that is what I was explaining before. And if you want to change the pose without changing the pose of this cube, what you can actually do is you can click on add, and there is this scene component, right? Or just a second, if you go over here, you can add an actor, normal empty actor, and inside this you can add the cube. All right, or you can also create a blueprint. All right, and with the help of the blueprint you can change the pose of it or everything. All right, so suppose you are having the issue of not able to change the poses, so these things might be helpful. All right, so also we have this scene component, scene capture cube. All those things you can actually use.